What is geography? You might be wondering what geography is all about, but let's take a look. Here's what some students have to say about what geography means to them.
Geography is the study of space and places and things that relate to those places.
To me, geography is the study of the world, its cultures and people. Geography looks at how people interact in certain environments. Geography is all around us.
To me, geography is mountains, peaks, valleys, rivers, volcanoes, plate tectonics, earthquakes, tsunamis.
Geography is the study of Earth and people's interactions with it. Geography can be physical or human, both of which highlight important aspects
Geography
of our
is all about studying maps. They help us get from one point to another. Thematic maps can tell us stories about a place, while other maps show us locations of places and their geographic
Geography
features.
is the study of travel. Geographers explore the whole world. They make observations on what makes places
Geography
unique.
is the study of physical features of the Earth and its atmosphere. Geography is landforms, water, climate, natural resources, erosion, and weathering. Geography is everywhere.
According to the National Geographic Society, geography is the study of places and the relationships between people and their environments. Geographers explore both the physical properties of Earth's surface and the human society spread across it. They also examine how human cultures interact with natural environment and the way that locations and places can have an impact on people.
Geography seeks to understand where things are found, why they're there, and how they develop and change over time.
What is geographic literacy, you ask? Let me tell you. Geoliteracy is a term that National Geographic has adopted to describe the understanding of how our world works, that all members of society require. Geoliteracy is the ability to reason about Earth's systems and interconnections, make far-reaching decisions, whether we are making decisions about where to live or what precautions to take for a natural hazard. We all make decisions that require geoliteracy through our lives. If you're a problem solver, geography is definitely for you. If you like asking questions, engaging with others, and finding a solution to a problem, then geography is a subject for you. We can apply the geographic inquiry process to all sorts of geography-related topics. We can formulate questions such as, how does the infrastructure in our community support environmental sustainability? Or, what efforts can we take to reduce our carbon footprint? Or even, what factors do we need to consider when creating or expanding a highway? If you dig deep enough, you may be able to find an answer to all your geography-related questions. Next, we can gather and organize information so we can come up with answers to the questions we're asking. Assess the importance of collecting locational data relating to the why there principle. We should also consider whose point of view we are looking at information from. The mayor of a city or a concerned grandmother? These are two very different lenses. We can now use this information to interpret and analyze our results. We should identify key points found. We can examine quantitative and qualitative data. This is useful when analyzing a global event or phenomenon. We can document people's experiences and factual data produced. Now, we should be drawing conclusions about our newfound information. We can choose to make connections and start to map out answers on how climate change will affect future generations, or how a change in our natural environment, for example a natural disaster, will affect people locally and globally. Lastly, we should communicate these ideas, keeping the teaching and learning process going. Decide on who your audience will be and present your newfound knowledge. We can apply these 5 simple steps to incorporate geographic inquiry into problem solving.
How can we link the concepts of geographic thinking to geographic education? Spatial significance. This concept requires students to determine the importance of a place or region. They explore the connections that exist between the geographical location and physical characteristics of a site and analyze the unique relationships that exist in and between the natural and human environments in a particular place. Students come to understand that the significance of the same place may be different for humans, animals, and plants. Spatial significance is extremely important to geographers. For example, geomorphologists study how natural processes like plate tectonic movement, glacial processes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions will impact the human environment. Biogeographers study how other species are impacted by changes in our environment. For example, how climate change is influencing the migration of the monarch butterfly. Patterns and trends. This concept requires students to recognize characteristics that are similar and that repeat themselves in a natural or human environment, and characteristics or traits that exhibit a consistent tendency in a particular setting over a period of time. The characteristics may be spatial, social, economic, physical, or environmental. Students analyze connections between characteristics to determine patterns. They analyze connections between those characteristics over time to determine trends. Geographers are always recording observations and attempting to make sense of data. For example, historical geographers study patterns in how people have interacted with the environment in the past. Hydroclimatologists study trends in climate data to determine how significant climate is changing in all regions around the world. Interrelationships. This concept requires students to explore connections within and between natural and human environments. The interconnected parts of an environment or environments work together to form a system. Students must understand the relationships that exist within a system and then critically analyze the relationships between systems in order to determine the impact they have on one another. Understanding how systems interact and impact each other is crucial for urban geographers who study how combinations of land use types influence the quality of life and sustainability of communities, and cultural geographers who study how cultural norms are impacted by societal norms. Geographic perspective. This concept requires students to consider the environmental, economic, political, and/or social implications of the issues, events, developments, and/or phenomena that they are analyzing. In order to solve problems, make decisions or judgments, or formulate plans of action effectively, students need to develop their ability to examine issues from multiple perspectives. Geographers cannot make decisions or draw conclusions without understanding the variety of impacts this will have. For example, economic geographers study how locational factors impact industries and profitability, and political geographers study how political processes are influenced by spatial structures.